Hello again, everyone. It's Mark Dempsey. I'm an author and journalist, and today we're going to be talking about one of the most important issues of our time, an issue that is very dear and close to my heart, and it's one that you need to care about. Well, what is it? Well, it's high school dropouts. That's right, high school dropouts. Did you know that every year in this country, 1.2 million kids drop out of school in America? And that really does not bode well for the future of our country, and that's why you need to care about this very, very important issue. Well, some time ago, the media company Viacom teamed up with the Gates Foundation to create a nonprofit that would address this very issue, and they called it Get Schooled. And I want to read you a press release that a Viacom executive sent out regarding the executive director of Get Schooled, and her name is marie.groark. And this is what he had to say about Marie. Marie is a passionate and knowledgeable advocate who understands that access to a quality education is a key determinant of an individual's future success, said carl.folta, board director of the Get Schooled Foundation and Viacom's executive vice president, corporate relations. Not only is Marie a former teacher, but in her work with the Gates Foundation, she created an impressive portfolio of education programs and initiatives. We are very pleased to have Marie's energy and expertise at the Get Schooled Foundation, and we look forward to her leadership and contributions to this vital cause. Well, that's a very interesting press release, and it's very well written, by the way, probably done by a public relations agency in New York City. But after reading it a couple of times, I just had a few questions that I think that you'll find very, very interesting. The very first question that I had, it says here that not only is Marie a former teacher, well, she's actually a former social studies teacher, but why would being a former teacher be the best credentials to try to address high school dropouts, when thousands and thousands of teachers who work in public education every day have had little or no success in doing so? That was the very first question that I had. The second question that I had was, it says here that she created an impressive portfolio of education programs and initiatives while at the Gates Foundation. But we all know Bill Gates has spent hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars and billions of dollars in trying to reduce the number of dropouts with little or no success at all. And Bill Gates will tell you that himself. So with such poor marks, why were her initiatives and programs impressive? Well, carl.folta from Viacom says high school dropouts is a vital cause, and he's absolutely correct. So what did I do? I emailed carl.folta, and I told him who I was, and I said that I had a project that I thought would be very, very helpful in reducing the number of dropouts, that would encourage kids to read, that would give them a love for learning, that would reach out to minority communities, because this is a very important issue. It's a vital cause. Well, what was the response that I got from carl.folta at Viacom? Zero. That's right, zero. He never responded to me, which I found very, very interesting. And I found it disheartening and discouraging as well. So what did I do? I wanted to contact marie.groark directly. But before I did that, I just wanted to see if there were any online comments that she had made regarding education. And sure enough, there certainly were. And this is what Marie had to say about our education crisis. We all need to work together to solve the education crisis. Our country's future is hanging in the balance. We just can't rely on politicians to solve this problem. We all need to step up. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to step up. And this statement is a call to action for politicians and for business leaders and for citizens and for authors and journalists like myself who are really concerned about this issue. And you would think there'd be a positive, charged response from Marie, because our country's future is hanging in the balance. Well, I logged onto the Get Schooled website. And oddly enough, Get Schooled does not have a physical address, nor do they have a phone number, which you can call Marie up. No, don't have that either. And Marie does not have an actual direct address that's on the website. But I finally got a hold of her. And all those things make me think that she works out of her home, okay? But I finally got a hold of her. And I said, I'm Mark Dempsey. I've got a project I think would be very helpful in reducing dropouts. And she said to me, I'd be happy to learn more. So I spent hours crafting a 2-page letter. I went through the entire thing, gave her all that I could possibly give her in 2 pages to try to convince her of the importance of this particular project that would encourage kids to read and would encourage them to stay in school. And what was the response that I got from Marie? Zero. 2 days go by, not a peep from Marie. So I said, okay, I'm going to email her again because our country is hanging in the balance. So I said, Marie, did you get a chance to read the letter that I sent you? Please let me know if you have an interest. Mark. Sure enough, She sends me an email reply, and this is what she has to say. Mark, I did read it, and I agree with your thoughts. I guess the challenge is creating the media in a format and with a platform that kids will consume and be motivated by. What? Well, that's not really, doesn't really go to the heart of the issue. I mean, that's the response that I would expect from a social studies teacher who does not have a media background, who does not have a marketing background, and who does not have a publishing background. And you really need those backgrounds in order to evaluate my proposal. Okay? So, not to lose faith because our country's future is hanging in the balance. Not to lose faith. I sent even more information. I then sent her 2 one-sheets. I sent her a bio. I sent her a writing sample. I sent her other information to try to convince her that this was an important matter, that this was an important project, and I did so in good faith. And what was the result that I got from Marie? What was the response that I got from her? 0. And I started out on November the 9th, and here we are at the end of the month, and I still have not heard anything from her whatsoever. Yet our country's future is hanging in the balance. And we all must step up, and we all must help. And that's exactly what I did for this so-called vital cause, okay? Do you see the difference between public relations announcements and what people really think and how they really respond? Do you see the difference between a press release and reality? You see? Okay, because whenever you test public relations statements, more often than not, they don't come true. And that's exactly what happened in this particular case. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about Viacom's approach to high school dropouts. What they want to do, they send personalities to school. They want you to believe they care about education. But is that really true? Viacom is in the media business. Viacom makes its money via advertising. They are the people who own BET, they own MTV, they own Nickelodeon, and their job is to get as many kids as possible to watch their television networks, because that's how they make their money. But everyone knows that the more television the kids watch, the lower their grades. It's a detriment to education. It's a detriment to good grades. Everyone needs to know that. So what happens? They take an artist like Ludacris, a rapper, and they will send him to one school, and he'll do some rap tunes and sign some autographs. I'm sure he gets paid for it. And once the Get School bus leaves the parking lot of the school, the message of staying in school has been forgotten. Now, Ludacris's performance probably will be remembered, but his message of staying in school will be forgotten. Does his performance in any way, is that in any way going to help reading proficiency rates? No. Is it going to help math proficiency rates? No. Is it going to lower the number of kids who drop out of school? Absolutely not. Why does Viacom want to do that? Because it is a public relations effort, and it is very good for artists like Ludacris because he gets a ton of public relations that will last for years. He's got photo ops, he's got press releases, he's got it all. Plus he's got paid performances. But what do the kids get? One day, a few hours of a positive message, and that's it. You see, there is a big difference between being entertained and being educated. A big difference. And I hope that you have been educated on what Get Schooled really is, and the people that I contacted who really don't care about education, even though that our country's future is hanging in the balance, and it's a vital cause. I hope that you will take a sincere interest in education. And I hope that as a parent, as a student, and as an educator, you will understand what Get Schooled is really all about. So the next time that you'll see the bus pull up in the school parking lot, you'll have a better understanding of what I went through and what everyone would go through the next time they contact an organization like Get Schooled. Either they slam the door in your face, they don't give you a response, or they can't give you an intelligent reply about an issue that is so very important to all of us. People who want to step up and people who really care. People just like me. My name is Mark Dempsey. I'm an author and journalist, and you're welcome to contact me directly at markd112@yahoo.com. That's markd112@yahoo.com, and thanks so much for listening.